This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Postcasts we do. But tonight, the Giants continuously struggled against the Los Angeles Dodgers all season long, and again today, same story. 7-5 for their ninth loss of the season to their hated rivals. And after a big 4-run first inning, the Giants offense went completely dormant for the large part of the remaining 8 innings, while the Dodgers continue to score runs consistently and have those big names in the middle of their order continue to mash. With the loss, the Giants are now 1-7 in their last 8 games, and this one is over. That's all, folks. Pack it in. I mean, as I said in our last show, the Giants should absolutely be looking for some nice deals on some flights to Cancun over the winter time. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it, whether it's on the Locked On Giants podcast feed or on the YouTube channel. We appreciate all of our everydayers. And make sure you're checking out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Alan Stiles, does a great job. And this one, again, the Giants with a nice little crooked spot in that first inning, and they can't capitalize for the rest of the damn game, man. This has just been the same formula for losses lately for the Giants. Usually starting fast is a good sign. The Giants, it's important to start fast, but it's also important to kind of, carry that momentum through the rest of that game, or at least into the next couple innings. But for the Giants, I mean, they had a really nice first inning, man. I mean, you were just moving that carousel all along. You just kept the line moving and just next man up. And you had Elliot Ramos with the single, Adames with the single, Chapman with a walk to load the bases for a Bryce Eldridge double, a 3 RBI double. The kid's first hit as a Major League Baseball player. Mom going crazy out there in LA. Mom actually caught a foul ball in this one also later on. That was kind of a funny little moment for the Eldridge family. And Bryce Eldridge mashing that ball. It was nice to see, because he's had some pretty hard hit balls since getting called up. He just has not really found a spot for that ball to land. And that one finds a nice spot out there in left field up against the wall and clears the bases. It was a great piece of hitting by Bryce Eldridge. And again, you see why this kid is touted so highly. I mean, that was a great pitch by Tyler Glasnow. It was a sinker that was paint low and inside corner. I mean, that's a tough pitch to get a handle on. And the big lefty inside outs it down the left field line. And that was a great piece of hitting, 100.8 miles an hour. Great swing path on that ball. You see why that kid is so good at doing what he does up there at the dish. And I'm very excited to watch Bryce going forward with this team. I think that he's got to be on the opening day roster next year. You absolutely have to have this kid out there. You see the potential, the talent, just the raw power that this guy has. I mean, he's so massive, right? Like, when's the last time you saw a 6'7" guy doing what he's doing? And by the way, I can't say 6'7" anymore without having that stupid, trend going off in my brain. If you guys haven't seen this yet, go check out what the youths are doing on TikTok and all that stuff. I mean, the 6'7" trend is crazy. I was just walking around San Francisco earlier today. Beautiful San Francisco summer day right now. I mean, I know it's September, but as far as San Francisco goes, this is San Francisco summer weather. And I walked by a group of youths, and they all started looking at me going, 6'7". It was, and all I thought was Bryce Eldridge in the moment, if I'm being totally honest. So Bryce coming up big and putting the Giants on the board early with a nice 3-run spot there. But again, you couldn't really do much else in this one. They did tack another run on because of a Drew Gilbert walk after the Giants were able to load the bases again. But you were able to load those bases up again, and you only got one more in. That was kind of frustrating. A Patrick Bailey strikeout and an Elliot Ramos strikeout basically ended all the momentum the Giants had in this one. And again, strikeouts, just killing this team's momentum. 12 of them on the day. Almost everybody on this team, again, struck out at least once. The only one who didn't, Casey Schmidt. Only Giant who did not strike out today who came to the plate. And it seems like we're saying stuff like that quite a lot lately for this Giants team. And it's so frustrating. Even when you have guys getting on, you get a lot of double plays from the Giants lately as well. And in this one, you had Chapman ground into one in the top of the second. And after a big inning like that, that's the last thing you want in the very next inning, because it just kills all momentum you had. The Giants just 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and they left 8 on base in this one. Dodgers not better. They were only 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and they left 10 on base. But you know what the Dodgers did that the Giants didn't do? Was they hit a lot of home runs in this one. Max Muncy, a home run in the first inning. Michael Conforto, which, by the way, I cannot not discuss how much I despise this man, Michael Conforto, hits another one against the Giants in the 4th inning off of Buto. Tommy Edman hits one in the 5th inning, and Shohei Ohtani hits one in the 6th inning. So the Dodgers just knocking home runs left and right today. But my God, Michael Conforto, this guy, I don't know what the Giants did to make this guy go full evil supervillain mode. Like, this guy goes full Lex Luthor every time that he plays the Giants. Do you know what Michael Conforto is doing to this team this year? You realize Michael Conforto on the season is a below 200 batting average guy right now, a 197 average. He's only got 11 home runs and 34 RBIs, all right? Keep that in mind. Against the Giants, he's batting 394. He has 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Against the Giants. Damn near a third of his home runs and a third of his RBIs coming against the Giants this year. I mean, I do not know what the Giants did to this guy to make him hate them so much, but it's obvious at this point that Michael Conforto accesses, taps into something just, like primal whenever he's playing the Giants, because of the level of hatred that he seems to have for them. I hate Michael Conforto. I despise watching this guy come to the box in a Dodger uniform and just absolutely kill the Giants time and time and time again. Today, 3 hits for the guy batting below 200, 3 for 4. He had that 1 run and that 1 RBI on that solo bomb. I despise Michael Conforto. Absolutely despise him and what he does against the Giants. I wish that he could have batted, 394 with 13 hits, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs in 10 games against the Dodgers when he was in a Giants uniform. That would have been real nice, man. Real nice. Instead, he saves it all for when he goes down there to put on the Smurf blue and beats up on the Giants all season long. Man, I just absolutely hate this timeline for Michael Conforto and for the Giants. And it's been pretty reflective of what's happened in this Giants-Dodgers series as a whole, right? Like, this season, the Giants only have 3 wins against the Dodgers. The last time the Giants only had 3 wins against the Dodgers in a season was never. So if the Giants don't win tomorrow, you set a new record for the least amount of wins against your hated rival ever in the 100+ year history of the Giants-Dodgers rivalry. You've never had a Giants team win less than 4 games against the Dodgers in one season. So the Giants need to win tomorrow to at least tie their worst win total against the Dodgers in a season, which they also posted last year as well. Tied, and they've done a few other times. They've only won 4 games a couple times against the Dodgers in the season, but never only 3. So Giants will try to avoid a historically bad season against the Dodgers and avoid a sweep tomorrow. And if you're asking me, I don't think they're going to do it. I think the Dodgers are going to beat them, which is real bad for anyone who's sitting there really praying for the Giants to hit the 81 win mark, myself included. If you were getting in on the Giants over on the 80.5 win total at the beginning of the season, it's looking bleak, man. I'm gonna need the Giants to sweep the Rockies and win 2 against the Cardinals in order to get there, probably, and it's not looking likely. So little trouble for anyone who put their faith in the Giants and put their money behind that faith at the beginning of the season. But again, if you were good against the teams in your division, we've talked about this so much recently, the Giants are just horrible against the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. And those are 3 teams that you're going to play more than almost anyone else in all of Major League Baseball. You can't beat those teams, you're not going to go to the postseason. It's that simple. You need to be able to play the teams in your division a little bit more closely, and you'll have a chance at the postseason. But in this one, ultimately, it gets away from the Giants after the Dodgers continuously poured runs on throughout this game. 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth for the Dodgers to tie it up, then 1 in the fifth, and then 2 more in the sixth. And man, in that 6th inning, that's where, in my opinion, you hit today's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And in that 6th inning, you had none other than Shohei Ohtani come up and smash his 53rd home run of the season to center field. The Dodgers ended up scoring another run in that game after a Mookie Betts double and a Teoscar Hernandez single, and it's just so frustrating, right? Like you think you're looking at this lineup, and you have Ohtani home run in that you're Ohtani's leading off that inning, right? And he's the leadoff hitter for this lineup, so he hurts you. He gets that solo home run. You're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe you can get out of this inning and limit damage. And at least it's only a solo shot, right? Mookie Betts comes up next, hits a double, and you're thinking, oh no, here we go. Then you get Freddie Freeman to fly out and the runner doesn't advance. And now you're like, okay, maybe now that we've gotten through the first three, it'll get a little bit easier. Nope, you get Max Muncy next, who's already hit a home run in the game. And even after you get through him, then you got Teoscar Hernandez, who, last year's home run derby champion and all-star Teoscar Hernandez. And now it never ends, right? It never ends. This Dodgers lineup just has no weak spots. And then after Hernandez, you got Tommy Edman, who went yard in this game. Andy Pages, who's having a hell of a season. Conforto, who kills the Giants, as we've talked about. There are zero holes in this lineup. And what a luxury that must be, man, because I'm so tired of watching the Giants just fail time and time and time again with runners in scoring position, with big opportunities. They did in the seventh when they had runners on the corners. With 2 outs and couldn't get anybody in. They had runners at first and second with only 1 out and they couldn't get anybody in. It's just really frustrating to watch this team continuously shoot themselves in the foot with bad baseball and just not being able to capitalize in these big moments. They're allergic to productive outs in these situations as well. It's just been the same thing all season long, and you're going to need someone to step up, especially against division opponents next year if you want things to get better. We got to take a quick break here. On the other side, we got to get into a player of the game, which today's is actually kind of interesting because it highlights someone who had a decent game and has not been playing very well against the Dodgers since he put on a Giants uniform. So we'll get into that next here on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. I've personally used the caffeine toothpicks before big meetings and long drives. They give me energy without the jitters, and the flavors like peppermint, watermelon, ice actually taste great. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com and use code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix Toothpicks. And today's show is also brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. And with football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. And I told you guys this last night. I'm going to tell you again. Patrick Mahomes, you're getting that max discount this week. Half a passing yard. Obviously, we're going with the more than on that. Pair that with a Christian McCaffrey, more than half a touchdown, and that's a winner for you tomorrow. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks is good to be right. And today's show is also sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5 Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. And I am so busy, man. All the time. I have like 4 different jobs. I do a lot in my social life. I am always on the go. I'm always tired. I'm always needing caffeine, burning the candle at both ends and trying to stay awake through the middle of my day. And I just don't have time to go and wait and find a coffee shop, wait in a 10, 15 minute line to just go get a cup of coffee, man. It's too much work these days. And plus it's so expensive. And with 5 Hour Energy, it's portable, it's convenient, and it saves me a little bit of money compared to going and getting a latte every day. So I mean, enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in store and online at www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today, not a very fun game against the Dodgers. The Giants lose again. They're probably going to get swept tomorrow. But if I can offer you one thing that can maybe give you a little bit of hope for the future in these series against the Dodgers, it's today's player of the game. And it's a guy who showed you a little something today that he has not shown you against the Dodgers since he got to the Giants. And so let's get into it. Today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And we're going to give it to Rafi Devers. And I know that he wasn't necessarily a big part of the majority of the Giants scoring in that first inning, but he did have a solo home run in this one. And that's a good sign to me, because Rafi Devers has been really bad against the Dodgers this year. I know he only had the one hit, and it was that one solo shot, but I hopefully that gets him going. To see a guy like that, all you need is one, right? Like it's like Steph with shooting a three. He just needs to see the ball go through the net. With Rafi Devers, he just needs to see one go over the fence. And now that he's seen it in Dodger Stadium against this Dodger team, I think that could be a good thing to help him get it going, because in his season against the Dodgers, including today's game, or coming into today's game rather, he was only batting .038. He's batting 38, a 2-digit batting average with one hit, 2 RBIs, 4 runs in 8 games against the Dodgers. That is abysmal. And this is a guy who had a over 800 OPS for the Red Sox against the Yankees. This is not a guy who is foreign to these big matchups, to these big rivalries. This is a guy who crushed the Yankees and lived for those moments with the Red Sox. He has not been that guy with the Giants, and you're going to need Rafi Devers to absolutely be that guy with this team if you're going to want to beat the Dodgers next year and in years to come with Rafi in the center of this lineup. He is going to be the centerpiece for years to come. If he is not going against your rival team, it's a big deal, man. Like it matters more. Like I don't care at this point about like if the Giants win tomorrow, they're still probably not making the playoffs, right? Like that one win in the grand scheme of 162 games doesn't really mean a whole lot, but damn it, does it mean a lot to me as a Giants fan. I do not want to see this team set the low water mark for wins against the Dodgers. Like, I still care about this rivalry. I still care about this team showing up and delivering an effort. Like, show up and be a professional. Go beat the Dodgers. If you lay down and die and get swept in 4 games to essentially end your season at the hands of your most hated rival, like, how bad does that look as just as a reflection on you as a team, as a player, as a manager? If you're Bob Melvin, it looks like you can't get up and get motivated for these big moments. And if you can't get up for Giants Dodgers, then what can you get up for as a Giants player? I mean, so I need Rafi Devers to show me that he can get up for these moments, that he's got it still in these big primetime rivalry games. And today, at least a little bit at the end there, he showed me that with that home run. And although it wasn't as pretty a swing, it was one of those all arm, no lower body swings that somehow Rafi manages to flip over the wall anyways. It's still something that I think can get him going. Like I said, it's like Joe Montana completing a pass just to kind of get in the rhythm. It's Steph Curry seeing the ball go through the net and just seeing it happen. You just get a guy like that going. He just needs to see it, and it'll just flip some switch in the brain to just get him right and hopefully set him off on the right direction for next season against the Dodgers. And hopefully Rafi can come out tomorrow, have a nice game against the Dodgers, and end this season series with something to kind of hang his hat on and build into next season. And ultimately, though, the Giants, you're 4 games out of the wild card after this one. That's what you're going to be talking about afterwards.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And it's going to be that you're 4 games out and that the season is over. And it's, cue the Porky Pig. That's all, folks, man. This season's over. It's pack it in. It's not going to be a fun last 7 games of the season. You got 1 more against the Giants, then you got 3 against the Cardinals, 3 against the Rockies. I have a feeling that Rockies series at home is going to feature a lot of guys who are down in AAA right now, or guys who are battling for roster spots for next year or for starting spots next year. And it's going to be frustrating watching this team battle the Dodgers and try to salvage We'll be coming to you live afterwards, as we always do. We'll also be doing a Locked On 49ers squad show tomorrow with four-time Super Bowl champion Dwayne Board and either Brian Peacock or Eric Crocker, one of the hosts of the Locked On 49ers podcast. We'll get in there and make sure you're joining us for that one. That'll be fun. We'll be doing that pretty much right after we do the Giants post-game show. So make sure you're tuning into both of those tomorrow. That's all the time that we got for you guys today. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.